It's Punxsutawney Phil!
The crowd roars for a rodent who predicts the weather. Thousands of people come from everywhere. Where are you from?
I'm from Utah.
We're from New Orleans.
You came from Canada?
Yep.
Early this morning, they all huddled together as they do every year to wait for Punxsutawney Phil's prediction. He emerged from his burrow and did not see his shadow, which means
An early spring is on the way!
it's just another Groundhog Day in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. The town, known for a forecasting groundhog named Phil and made famous by a movie with actor Bill Murray, is wildly popular once a year.
For the groundhog!
For the groundhog!
Yeah,
But did you know there's a Catholic connection to Groundhog Day?
I didn't.
Did not. No idea.
That's right, a Catholic connection. This seemingly random and secular celebration involving a large rodent and plenty of festive fun takes place every year on February 2nd. But after a little digging, you'll find that faith burrows deeper into this tradition. Way before rodent prognostications, liturgical celebrations got most of the attention. On February 2nd, the Catholic Church celebrates the presentation of the Lord, remembering when Mary and Joseph brought Jesus to the Jewish temple for consecration after his birth. The Gospel account speaks of a righteous man named Simeon who made a prophetic statement about Jesus, calling him a light for revelation to the Gentiles and glory for your people Israel. In Catholic tradition, the presentation has also been celebrated with Candlemas, when people bring their candles to church for a blessing, symbolizing the divine light of Christ, dispelling darkness, just as Simeon had once predicted. But in medieval times, Candlemas would develop another layer of lore. As January turned to February and farmers began to think about growing crops for the spring, predictions about the weather were made based on the presence of sunlight or darkness on Candlemas Day. Many European folk rhymes passed down through the centuries document this.
If Candlemas be fair and bright, winter has another flight. If Candlemas brings clouds and rain, winter will not come again.
Tom Curry, a founder of the Punxsutawney Historical Association, hopes people will find what he has. There's a lot more to February 2nd.
Maybe they'll become curious like I was, to kind of look at their own faith and look back and think about Groundhog Day other than a day of a bunch of people celebrating an animal.
The animal-centered modern-day celebration can be traced centuries back to Germany. There, the liturgical tradition of Candlemas, coupled with the weather predictions, would somehow further evolve, developing fur and four legs. In some historical folklore accounts, badgers were the original weather prognosticators of Candlemas Day.
A lot of the people don't know the history of how it got here.
As Europeans settled in America, they carried over the tradition, and it would evolve even more.
It's Groundhog Day!
The badgers were replaced by Pennsylvania abundant groundhogs.
If Candlemas Day is bright and clear, there'll be 2 winters in the year.
And the old folk rhymes, now recited in a different style on Gobbler's Knob every year in Punxsutawney, where Phil and his shadow, or lack thereof, indicate what's to come.
But what this weather did not provide is a shadow or reason to hide. Glad tidings on this Groundhog Day!
You won't hear much proclaimed about the presentation of the Lord or Candlemas Day. But lest you think the Catholic connections to Groundhog Day are long gone, the faith still lives on in many of the key players.
You're the person who lifts Phil up every Groundhog Day.
It starts with the bearded man holding Phil as the crowd roars.
I'm lucky enough to get to hang out with this famous guy for my tenure.
A.J. DeRoom is Punxsutawney Phil's handler, and he's also Catholic. And so are a number of the other top hat-wearing men who make up this Groundhog's posse, Phil's inner circle.
There's always been a good, strong Catholic contingency in Punxsutawney.
And among Phil's super fans, you might find someone like lifelong Catholic Jeannie Curtis.
What does Punxsutawney Phil mean to you?
Well, he's the one and only original groundhog, and we celebrate him.
For all the famous people her favorite groundhog has met, she hopes he can meet one more.
Hasn't seen the Pope yet, but maybe one of these days.
No audience with the Pope just yet, but Phil did make an important stop before capturing global attention on Gobbler's Knob center stage this year. He visited the kids at the only Catholic school in Punxsutawney, Saints Cosmas and Damien, the same one his buddy AJ attended as a kid.
Their eyes light up when they see Phil. It's just so much fun, and you get to explain to them why this groundhog is such an important thing to our town.
The truth is, Phil brings in a lot of money for local businesses on Groundhog Day, and some of that money turns into generous donations that help fund this Catholic school and pay for students' education.
Our kids come here with scholarships that pay upwards of 90% of their tuition, and that is all money given from local businesses to keep this school open and accessible for families.
Heather Kunzelman, the principal at Saints Cosmas and Damien, says the goal here is to lead young students to God. And Phil, the famous local groundhog, is helping in that mission. His visits bring smiles.
Here at our school, the biggest thing we focus on is finding joy in our faith, and what a fantastic way to do that with the addition of the groundhog.
From the past to the present, and likely into the future.
Any predictions?
It's safe to say you can't take the Catholic out of Groundhog Day. Mark Irons, EWTN News In Depth.